Today I'm asking the question, is Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band AC/DC finished? Are they running out of energy? Are they on the highway to hell? Are we seeing the end of one of the most influential and popular rock groups in history? Why? Well, what an amazing piece of news this morning. The situation also with Malcolm Young, the pressures, they all have to take their toll on AC/DC. An amazing piece of news broke just this morning. AC/DC drummer Phil Rudd has appeared in a New Zealand court on charges of attempting to arrange a murder. Mr. Rudd, who was born in Australia, has also been charged with possessing the drugs methamphetamine and cannabis, and of making threats to kill. Now, the judge has actually made a short statement, which was unexpected, saying that the identities of the two people who Mr. Rudd is alleged to have taken in being involved in a plot to kill, their identities will be suppressed at least until the trial. The musician's waterfront house in Tauranga on New Zealand's North Island was raided on Thursday morning. Now, a statement on AC/DC's Facebook page and website says, "We've only become aware of Phil's arrest as the news was breaking. We have no further comment. Phil's absence will not affect the release of our new album, Rock or Bust, and upcoming tour next year." Now, Mr. Rudd, who is 60 years old, was released on bail after a brief appearance at Tauranga District Court. As part of his bail conditions, he must not have any contact with anyone involved in the alleged murder plot. Now, I have to say, at this current time, certainly in the past couple of days, the other members of AC/DC have been in London, England, taking part in shooting the music video for one of their new songs featured on the new Rock or Bust album, possibly even more than just one song, which is what the rumours are, that they've been filming a couple of music videos for the album, but also shooting promotional materials for the next year's tour. Now, obviously, it is very possible. I am not an expert. I do not know anything about Australian law, but certainly in cases such as these, normally a person's passport is taken from them. They are not obviously allowed to leave the country. So this may be certainly the news. It seems that Mr. Rudd will miss AC/DC's tour next year. Now, this obviously that is not actually been confirmed. It is not been really reported anywhere. It is obviously very possible that he will miss next year's tour. Obviously, if your passport's taken away, you cannot travel out of the country, at least not legally, and obviously he will be required to attend either court or to the police authorities at any time when requested. Now, he will be next in court on November 27th. To be honest, looking at it, I expect it will just be a continuance of his bail, and to just re-establish his bail conditions, and then obviously we will see the trial happen eventually. And at this point, I will say, just to make it clear, that although he has been charged with these, he is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. It is up to the prosecution and the defence to argue their cases in a court of law, and for either a judge or a jury to make the decisions and due process to take place regarding these charges and alleged allegations. So, again, just to make sure, he is not guilty until proven in the court of law, and the due process has all been finalised. Like I said, this is a really quite a bad time for AC/DC this year. 2014 has certainly not been very kind to the band. This follows the news just a short time ago regarding one of AC/DC's founding members and guitarist, Malcolm Young. Now, he took a break earlier this year due to an unspecified illness, and even then, the rumours were going around online and obviously word of mouth that a member of AC/DC was suffering from a very serious and long-term health problem. Now, certainly, following this story over the past several months, it does seem very likely that due to either journalistic investigations or however they did it, or whether it was detective work, I do not know exactly. Obviously, the steps that were taken, but certainly it seemed that those investigating the situation were extremely, and I think probably were actually had a hold of the truth regarding Malcolm Young, and it seemed about to make it public when his family actually made the statement confirming the news themselves, which is one thing I'm glad of, that he actually, his family were able to come out and tell people the truth rather than false reporting and false rumours and different newspapers or supposed news websites actually coming out and saying things that are not, supposedly confirming mistruths and misinformation. They made a short statement, his family, saying that Malcolm is suffering from dementia and the family thanks you for respecting their privacy. Now, obviously, AC/DC said, following the confirmation by Malcolm Young's family, pretty much really this situation they're all family, but his biological family, saying that due to the nature of Malcolm's condition, that he would not feature on the new recordings or participate in the tour. His nephew, Stevie Young, will accompany the band on tour after playing rhythm guitar on the album. As I said, the news all confirmed the rumours that the musician was suffering from the illness. Obviously, they said they certainly seemed to get very close and get a hold of the truth. As I said, it was really good that his family were able to come out and said confirm the truth and not misinformation or misrumours. Now, the Sydney Morning Herald reported that Young had been moved into full-time care at a nursing home in Sydney, and that is where he is currently, as latest that we all know, is still currently residing. Obviously, I'm certainly hopeful that I'm sure you will be getting all the care and attention and help that he needs. According to a family friend, this is an unnamed and alleged source, saying that the guitarist could no longer remember how to play AC/DC songs, saying that if you were in the room with him and walked out, then came back in 1 minute later, he wouldn't remember who you are. He has a complete loss of short-term memory. Now, the thing is about things like dementia or Parkinson's or many of the degenerative diseases that currently affects millions of people around the world, is that also there are different degrees of them, and they can affect people in different ways. Some people can be diagnosed with such a thing like dementia. Varying, like I said, there's varying scales, degrees of dementia, etc., and they could live for a number of years, perhaps needing some help, perhaps slowly declining, but very slowly, and can live for many, many years. Others, sadly, can be diagnosed with such like Parkinson's or dementia, and very, very rapidly decline, and unfortunately not have very long to live after the initial diagnosis. So it's very unfortunate. It affects different people different ways. People do not have any idea, scientists and that do not have the information as of yet of why this happens, how it happens. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. So they're trying to separate it into different degrees and obviously different severities of these kind of diseases, but certainly, unfortunately, we do not know why as of yet this happened. So, I'm sure financially he is well looked after being in AC/DC for over 40 years, since 1973. Though he has probably got ample money, and I'm sure if need be, AC/DC will be able to raise funds for him. But I'm pretty sure that he hopefully will him and his family will have enough financial backing at this present time to take care of any financial needs that he and his family are actually needing and are requiring at this time. And I'm said, sure, obviously, his brother is Angus Young, another member of AC/DC. I'm sure all the band will be right there in support of Malcolm as time goes on. Now, obviously, AC/DC again have suffered their own, their fair share of tragedy and bad circumstances throughout the years. In 1980, the original lead singer Bon Scott had a binge drinking session, broke into a car, crawled, I believe, into the back seat of the car to sleep it off, and sadly never woke up. Obviously, the Angus and Malcolm Young, really the heartbeats and souls of the band, decided after a period of reflection and conversations between themselves that the band must continue. Very quickly recruited Brian Johnson. Obviously, we all know the history of the band since then. They have continued, as said, to be hugely successful. Their live tours are, one of the largest grossing tours in any musical or entertainment genre. When you look at the numbers, certainly the numbers that are made public, they're right up there with any other form of entertainment, and certainly of any other musical act in whatever genre of music that you can look at. So, obviously, this has been a very difficult time for AC/DC. And obviously, this brings a lot of pressures on AC/DC. Their long-time friend, their brother, their uncle, their really certainly family member. Malcolm has, these, obviously is no longer with the band officially. Hopefully he's kind of still there officially, but unofficially, I don't know, pay him as a consultant or take care of him somehow that way, because I'm sure they could easily do that. And then now this news about Phil Rudd. So this is going to put a lot of pressure on the band. It's certainly going to put a lot of pressure on Angus Young. His brother's. He's going to have a lot of concern for his brother's health and safety. Also, I said he's well looked after whatever residence he's in, but you can't help but worry in a situation like that. And obviously, they're getting older, they're getting up to their 60s, etc. Will this be the occasion where will all this pressure, and whether Phil Rudd is with the band, we don't know. Said he was absent for the photo shoot and the music videos, and obviously he is having to remain in New Zealand at this time. So AC/DC said they will not be retiring after this news from regarding Malcolm Young. They said they would be continuing, but this was before Phil Rudd has actually been charged with all these offences. Again, I would really say he is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law, just to make sure that is perfectly clear. But will this be the final push for AC/DC to say, that's it, we've done our 40 odd years, we've got enough money, we've got, obviously, we don't have any financial pressures, we don't have any personal, we have some personal pressures that we need to take care of with Malcolm and Phil, and, will this be the final nail in the coffin for AC/DC? Will they finally decide after next year's tour to hang it up? Will we see the final date of the final tour be the final performance of AC/DC? They can't continue forever. They are getting up in age, and I'm an AC/DC fan, and I love their music, but you as a fan, you would not want to put too much physical and mental pressure on these guys and see the implosion or explosion of AC/DC. Certainly the fans would not want them to tarnish their legacy by ending in such a manner. So will we see the end of AC/DC after the tour next year? That is a big question hanging over. Has AC/DC just hit a bit of black ice, or are they on their way to their own highway to hell? We don't know. We'll certainly be keeping an eye out on the situation. Obviously, AC/DC cannot comment any further on these allegations or the current investigations surrounding Phil Rudd at this time. But hopefully, after the album is released this coming December, we may get more information and confirmation on AC/DC's future.